Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss parliamentary group. We are continuing the series of Lakshmikant and we are going to discuss each and every topic of Lakshmikant in a great detail. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss about this parliamentary group. So before getting into the topic, let us see some of the introduction regarding this parliamentary group. So what is a parliamentary group and what is the importance? What is the important function of this parliamentary group? If you see here, India, it is a democratic country. So if you see in the world, there are many democracies that are present. So if you see, for example, Indian democracy, we are facing some problems regarding financial. Okay, we are facing the problem of financial crisis, or if at all there is imposition of emergency, or if at all there is any health issue or any issue which happened in the India. And if you see in the other democracies also, we saw there are some number of problems, like they are also facing with the financial problem, or they are also facing with the emergency, or they are also having some health related issues. So what happened, whenever there is a democracy, in every democracy they will go and they will form a parliamentary group. So this parliamentary group, which is mainly formed by the members of the parliament, and it is open for all the people, and it will be open for the former MPs as well, and as well as the present MPs. So these members of this parliamentary group, they will go and they will meet the other countries' parliamentary group, and they will sit together and they will discuss about their problems they are facing. For example, Indian parliamentary group, which is going and representing any other parliamentary group of country X, and Indian parliamentary group mainly shares the experiences regarding the problems which are faced by the Indian democracy and what are the definite solutions they are coming for, and they will also ask to recommend some solutions. And in the same way, if at all any problems which are facing by the X country, the X country also keeps its problem first and ask India mainly to suggest some of the solutions how to treat that problem. So in that way, what happened, we can exchange we can cross fertilize our ideas with other democracies as well. For example, if you see, we are in a situation of COVID-19. First of all, this COVID-19 started from China and it born in the Wuhan city, which is located in the China. And later on it spread to the different countries, and almost all the countries in the world, they are facing the crisis because of this COVID-19 at present. For example, if you take the USA, in USA there is a rapid increase in the cases of the COVID-19 happened. So what is the reason for the rapid increase of these cases? The first and the foremost thing is USA did not impose the lockdown and did not maintain the social distancing norms. So because of these things which are not followed by the USA, there is rapid rise of the cases that are seen in the USA. So from this USA, that is USA parliamentary group, we can know that these are the some of the things which are not done by the USA. So now India mainly think that we need to follow social distancing norms and we need to impose the lockdown. So because of this social distancing norms and this lockdown imposition in the country, that led to the delaying of the pandemic in India. So we are not completely preventing this COVID-19, but we are delaying this COVID-19 to some time. So within this time, we are going for the development of our infrastructure in the health. We are going for the increase in the beds in the hospitals, and we are going increase our ventilators as well, which is very, very important. So in this way, we can delay the event of the COVID-19 pandemic in India, and we can prepare well. So because of this is one of the important function of the parliamentary group. So if you see, this parliamentary group in India contains Indian Parliamentary Group IPG, which mainly contains two important machinery. The first one is IPU, that is Inter-Parliamentary Unit, and the next one is Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, that is CPA. We are going to discuss about what is this IPG and also this IPU and CPA in a great detail. So in the Lakshmikant, there is a thing that is rationally of this group. That means what is the importance of this group. And in the Lakshmikant, we can also see about some details regarding the IPG, who will be the members, what are the so and so regarding that IPG, and also regarding the IPEU, Inter-Parliamentary Unit, and also Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So we are going to discuss each and everything in a great detail. So let us get into the topic. The first one is why this group? What is the rationale of group? So these parliamentarians who are forming this parliamentary group within a democracy, they will join the hands to safeguard the democracy. In the democracy, we can see there are a number of problems that can be seen. If you see regarding the financial problems or the health related problems, governance related problems, disaster management related problems or terrorism related problems, there are a number of problems which are faced by the different democracies which are present in the world. So we are going to join the hands mainly to safeguard the democracy, and we can work in the synergy mainly to confront the challenges which are present before the world. So we are going to promote peace and also prosperity in the country and as well as globally. So this is the first important rationale. And the next one is the parliamentarians from the different parts of the world, they are forming into the forum and they can meet regularly and they will discuss about some of the problems they are facing and what are the solutions for those problems. So they are going to discuss the problems and they found out the common problem solutions. That means the democracies which may have the similar problems like the financial crisis, terrorism, piracy, etc. So these all are some of the common problems which are facing by the democracies across the world. So they will discuss those problems and they will come out with the solutions. And the next one is, it is also leading to the cross-fertilization of the idea. That means the exchange of the ideas from the one country to the another country. So this type of the exchange of the ideas from one country to the another country, we can say it is as a cross-fertilization of ideas. So in this way, whenever we are going for this parliamentary group and we are meeting regularly and we are discussing the questions and also problems and we are also coming out with the solutions. So this type of the meeting by these parliamentary groups, that will be very, very important for the exchange of the ideas. Okay, so these are the rationale. So let us see the composition of this group, that is Indian Parliamentary Group. So this Indian Parliamentary Group, it is an autonomous body. It was formed in the year 1949 and mainly formed by the motion which is adopted by the Constituent Assembly. And this membership of the Indian Parliamentary Group, which is open to all the members of Parliament, so it is on a voluntary basis. So it is given to the present MPs and also the former MPs. That means who were the parliamentarians at that time, but now they are not the members of Parliament. So for those former members also, there is a place which is present in this parliamentary groups. So those members are also called as associate members. So this is the important term that you should remember. So here the former members of the parliament, they can become the associate members of the group. So if you see, there are some limitations for these associate members, and these limitations will be very, very important for prelims because we cannot predict UPSC. So if your last one question will be very, very important. If you are at the cross border, okay, so you will understand the importance of the one last question. So because of this, we cannot predict UPSC. So each and every topic that should be dealt in a great detail such that you can answer that question which appeared in the UPSC. From the polity point of view, it is very, very easy to answer those questions correctly. So please focus here. So if you see regarding these associate members, there are some limitations. The first one is they will not entitled to representation at the meetings and the conferences in the Inter-Parliamentary Unit and also this Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. That means they will not be the representations of the India because they are former members. And the next one is they are also not entitled to the travel concession. So if the former MP, he want to go from one country to another country, for the travel things, he should bear his own cost. government will not bear this cost. And if you see, the Speaker of Lok Sabha, he is the ex officio president of the group, and the Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha and also the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, they will act as ex officio presidents of the group, but not the Vice President here. Why not the Vice President or the Chairman? Because he is not the Member of Parliament. So this is the important thing that you should remember. So if you see the Secretary General of Lok Sabha, he will be acting as the ex officio Secretary General of the group. So these are some important points that will be very, very important for prelims. And let us see the objective of this group. The first one is mainly to promote the personal contacts between the members of the Parliament of India. That means there will be the personal contacts with the present MPs and also the former MPs as well, who will be the part of this parliamentary group. And the next one is mainly to study the questions of public importance. For example, regarding the health. For example, regarding the financial status of the country. For example, regarding the education. For example, regarding the disaster management. So and so, which are the topics which are very, very important for the public. So those topics will be talked. And they will arrange the seminars and they will discuss and the orientation courses that can be happen on these topics, and later on they will publish whatever that is talked in these groups. And the next one is they also arrange the lectures on the political, defense, economic, social and educational problems mainly faced by the members of the parliament and also the other persons. And the next and the foremost important one is they will arrange the visits to the foreign countries mainly to meet the foreign parliamentary group such that they can share their problems and also they will come up with the solutions as well. And let us see the functions. Here this group mainly acts as a link between the Parliament of India and also the various parliaments of the world. That means if you see there are number of democracies which are present in the world. For example, democracy country 1, democracy country 2, democracy country 3. So in all these countries they will have a separate parliamentary group that is present. And these parliamentary groups, they are mainly interconnected such that they will form a link between the Indian Parliament and also the number of the parliaments which are present in the country. So they will also maintain a link mainly through the exchange of delegations, mainly through the goodwill missions, correspondence, documents, etc. So this is the first important function. And the next one is this group mainly functions as a two units. First one is Inter-Parliamentary Unit. Next one is CPA, that is Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So if you see, the main important function of this Indian Parliamentary Group here is the members of the Parliament, by visiting to the head of the state and also the government of the foreign countries, they can able to talk with the eminent persons of those other countries and they can also come up with some common solutions for the common problems. And they can also organize a seminar, symposia and also some parliamentary subjects mainly which are of very much interest regarding the public. And if you see the members of the group, they are going to the abroad and they are visiting the other countries as well, such that they can have a common link here. So these are the some important functions of the group here. And the next one is there is also uninterrupted flow of information to the members mainly regarding the activities of the group. They are maintained by this IPG newsletter. So what happened, Indian Parliamentary Group that will come up with the Indian Parliamentary Group newsletter such that there will be the uninterrupted flow of information to the members of the other countries regarding these activities which are done by this Indian Parliamentary Group. And the next one is, if you see this group, it is also give the Outstanding Parliamentarian Award as well. So this Outstanding Parliamentarian Award, which is given by the Indian Parliamentary Group, which was started way back in 1995 itself. And this award mainly decided by a committee, and this committee contains 5 important persons. The first one is Speaker of Lok Sabha and other invitees, and also they will finalize this nomination of this award to whom this Outstanding Parliamentarian Award that should be given. So let us see the IPU, that is Inter-Parliamentary Unit. So if you see this Inter-Parliamentary Unit, it is an international organization of parliaments. Mainly, it contains 153 parliaments of sovereign nations. So how many countries are present? That is 153. So this number, it is very, very important for other state exams as well. So the important aim of this Inter-Parliamentary Unit here is mainly to work for promoting the peace and also cooperation among the different countries. And the next one is it also fosters the contacts, coordination and also the exchange of experience among the parliaments and also other parliamentarians of all the member countries, such that it will also contribute to better sharing of knowledge between these people. And it also expresses its views mainly on the burning questions, like we can say terrorism, we can say piracy, we can say cross-border terrorism or insurgency, etc. To all these burning questions, we are going for the solutions which are come up by the other countries as well, such that we can improve the working standard and as well as the capacity of the international institutions in our country. And the main advantage of this group so far are the functions. So let us see what are the functions of this IPU. The first one is it helps the members of Indian parliamentary delegations mainly to develop the contacts with the other parliamentarians which are present in the world. That means if you see in this IPU, there are about 153 parliamentarians of other countries are present. So in this way, it also helps the IPG mainly to have the contacts with this 153 democratic countries. And the next one is it will provide an opportunity mainly to study and to understand the contemporary changes, reforms which are taking place in the various countries. For example, if there is any common problem is there, so what the country did, so how this problem which is solved in that country, such that the same solutions that can be come up with the another country. So in this way, this will mainly provide the opportunity to study the problem and whatever the solutions which are come up by the other countries, so and so. And the next one is it also provides the facilities mainly to meet the parliamentarians in the different countries during the tours in the abroad or in India, etc. And the next one is the members of this group. They are also eligible to visit the foreign countries as a member of Indian parliamentary delegations, mainly to the inter-parliamentary conferences. So if there is IPU that is present, so from the Indian parliamentary group, we can go for this IPU whenever there are some IPCs are happening, that is inter-parliamentary conferences are happening. So these are the important functions of the Inter-Parliamentary Unit. So let us see the next one, that is Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So if you are comparing with this IPU and CPA, this CPA is much big. In this IPU, we have only 153 sovereign states. But in this CPA, it also given the membership mainly to the national level, state level or the provincial level and also the territorial parliaments. So because of this, we can say this CPA is much large than compared to that of the IPU, and it contains about 17,000 Commonwealth parliamentarians. They are mainly spread over 175 national and also state, provincial and also the territorial parliaments. So what is the important aim of this Commonwealth Parliamentary Association? The important aim here is mainly to promote the knowledge, mainly to understand the constitutional, legislative, economic, social, cultural systems which are present in the parliamentary democratic framework. So this is a one important aim of this CPA. And the next important mission of this CPA, it is to promote the advancement of parliamentary democracy that will enhance the knowledge, and we are going to understand the democratic governance mainly by building an informed parliamentary committee that will deepen the Commonwealth's democratic commitment. So in this way, we are having the advancement in the parliamentary democracy. We are going for the enhancing of our knowledge, and we are going to understand the democratic governance, how it is working, and based on that, we are going to build an informed parliamentary committee within the country. So these are the some important functions of this Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So these are the some important things which are discussed in our Lakshmikant. By this we are concluding today. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos.